Hey, you. Yeah, you. Talking to you. Make sure you got all of your YouTube notifications turned on. Before we get into today's video around the latest news and rumors going on around the National Football League, go on your cell phone right now. Go to the settings app, scroll on down, tap YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. That way, when we drop a brand new video here at Chat Sports, it pops up on your phone, you can click on it, and then guess what? We got all the information right there for you. So make sure you turn on those noties. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to get into the latest news and rumors going on around the National Football League. And I love the offseason because this is the best time of the year for rumors. And we're talking about Zach Ertz is where we're going to lead this show off because he's a good tight end. Used to be one of the best ones in the league, coming off a little bit of a down year. And it hasn't been much of a secret. He no longer wants to be in Philadelphia. He believes that he deserves a bigger contract, a little bit of an extension, but I'm kind of in agreement with Philadelphia. Like, you know what, man? I got this guy named Dallas Goedert. He's pretty good. So there's been trade rumors literally everywhere on the internet, and one that I found that I thought was pretty interesting from Heavy.com was that Ertz was connected to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's been connected to Jacksonville not just by Heavy, but by multiple people out there, because when you look at the Jags offense from top to bottom, one of the areas that they're still probably the weakest in is definitely at the tight end position. So we're going to also talk about Urban Meyer, how he went on to say, hey, man, I want to add a lot of speed. And the tight end that's been grabbing all the headlines here has been Tim Tebow. But no disrespect to all these Jags guys. I mean, let's face it, they are Jags, just a guy, right? Like, that's the abbreviation there. So if you can go out and get somebody like a Zach Ertz, who could be a potential pretty interesting safety blanket for your new first-year quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, I don't want to hear anybody out there saying, oh, they said that they haven't named a quarterback yet for week one. It's Trevor Lawrence. Let's be real, people. But the real idea here is this. Would it make sense for Jacksonville to trade for Zach Ertz? Because if you are going to go out and get the guy who's 30 years old, you then also are going to have to pay him probably north of $8, maybe $9 million, which, no disrespect to Ertz, I personally wouldn't want to do that. But what do y'all think here? This is what Chat Sports is about. Asking the difficult questions. You know what? I haven't done this a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to make this the pinned comment of today's video. So what does that mean? It means it's going to be the very, very first comment on this NFL News and Rumors video. So while you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, because you're about to, I want you to type T for trade or K for keep. Will the Eagles trade Zach Ertz? Latest news and rumors coming at you here at Chat Sports. We're talking about the quarterback competition that's going on in New England. Mac Jones, Cam Newton. I absolutely love QB battles this time of the year. So there was a video released of Jones and Cam throwing at Patriots minicamp. Here's the story, pretty short, and the easiest way to explain it. Mac, he looked really good. Cam Newton, on the other hand, he didn't look so good. So obviously that's going to start a lot of stir because Bill Belichick has gone on to say that Cam Newton's going to be the starting quarterback. But you did draft the kid out of Alabama in the first round of this past year's draft. And if he's out playing Cam, I mean, I understand like NFL coach speak, right? Because sometimes you got to say the certain things that you have to, say to your football team. And maybe you don't want to give too much confidence to your young rookie. But like, if Mac Jones is simply outplaying Cam Newton, which, let's be honest, doesn't really surprise me, then you got to rock and roll with him, right? But who do y'all think should really start for the Patriots week one of this upcoming season? If you think it's Cam Newton, type CN. If you think it's Mac Jones, type MJ. So here's a cool little quote from Belichick on Cam Newton. And everyone, just stick with me here on a few of these quotes. Cam Newton's way ahead of where he was last year at this time. There's no question about that. I mean, as you would expect, he has a good year of experience under his belt, and he's able to start the process at the beginning and not in catch-up mode like he was last year. This is just coach talk, y'all. It is as simple as that, because I get that Cam was coming off a year where he didn't play, remember. Ended up going to the Patriots kind of late in the process, and he was good the first few games. However, COVID kind of hit him, and after that, it just simply did not look very good. But I'll also say this, if he's way ahead of schedule, and if we're already seeing reports out there that he's not playing well, I get that he banged up his hand and he had to miss a few days of practice. But everything that I read, everything that I see, people that I've even talked to from my time when I used to live in Boston, Massachusetts, Mac Jones just looks a whole lot better. Here's what the kid did in 13 games at Alabama this past year. And sure, the Crimson Tide has tons and tons of talent. Devonta Smith, I mean, he ended up winning the Heisman. You also got Jalen Waddle. I mean, you just can't deny the elite ability. But 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 4,500 yards in 13 games, and a natty to go on top of that. I'll tell you what, that's pretty good to me. The only time I don't like seeing a natty is when it's sitting in front of me at a bar. In 2020 stats from Cam Newton, 65.8% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. If you were looking for a quarterback that could throw you a solid ground ball, maybe you need to go out and buy a fungo bat if you don't know that reference and you're not a baseball player. But the bottom line, Cam Newton did not look very good last season. And if Jones looks better, then Jones should start at some point in this season. And there's no doubt in my mind that there is going to come a time where New England might struggle a little bit. I mean, they are going up against the Miami Dolphins week 1, which is a difficult matchup, especially if Byron Jones is there, especially if Xavier Howard's there as well. But, like, the real question that I'm going to ask y'all is this, like, what week is Mac Jones going to start? So we're going to roll through the schedule here. If you guys want to go down in the comments section and try to make a prediction of if you were Bill Belichick, if you were the New England Patriots, on when you would start Mac Jones, I mean, if it was up to me, Newton would have to look incredible for me not to roll with my rookie QB. Like, I understand some people want to have him sit behind a veteran, something like what Patrick Mahomes did with Alex Smith or what Aaron Rodgers did with Brett Favre. I mean, you've seen it time and time again. However, I am starting to wonder if Bill Belichick's legacy could actually be put into question, because if they have another bad year, the only time Belichick's ever been good is with a guy named Tom Brady. Maybe it was Tom Brady. Maybe it wasn't Bill Belichick. Just something to think about. So Father's Day is literally on Sunday, and if you haven't already, got your dad something nice, and what the hell are you doing, man? We got an awesome deal going on, chatsports.com/Father's Day. Hopefully, it's pretty easy to remember. Literally, it's like a box of all the awesome stuff your dad would love to have, maybe at a tailgate, maybe if he wants to put it out on his front lawn, but it's like usually $69, nice, and 99 cents. This is even nicer, though, $49.99. But if you were to go and try to buy all of these things, it's actually would be like an $80 value. So it's like an $80 value for $49.99. These boxes, they're not going to last forever. They are going extremely, extremely quick. So go ahead and use that link that y'all see on screen. If you can't remember chatsports.com/Father's Day, don't worry. I got you covered. Producer Sam's got you covered as well. It's going to be in the comments. It's going to be in the description. Make sure you get your dad something nice for Father's Day. Breakout SZN. What does that mean? It means it could be a potential breakout season for Isaiah Hodgins of the Buffalo Bills. That's what we're talking about on today's video. So it's pretty interesting considering the fact that anytime I see a quarterback or a head coach talking about a player this time of the year, I am interested. It's also the part of the fantasy football guy in me. I want to know who's going to be the next player that has that breakout year. So last season, he spent it on IR, so you didn't really get to know too much about him. He was a 6th-round pick in last year's draft, and him and his fellow teammate, for whatever reason, name is escaping me right now, those were two players, Gabriel Davis, thank you, Sam, where they were really hyped up a lot. And when you look at the size of Hodgins, you could definitely see that. And then you put the fact that he's been impressing so far in camp. Not only is he impressing his head coach, he's also been impressing Josh Allen, which, let's be real, that's also very important. 6'3", 200 pounds out of Oregon State, and in 2019 with Oregon State, the Beavers, 86 catches, over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. So here's what Sean McDermott had to say on Hodgins. I think a guy like Isaiah, like you mentioned, is off to a phenomenal start because of the way he approached the process in the offseason and getting himself healthy. Now, here we stand in the last week of offseason practices. And I think he's putting himself in position to make a real move. So that remains to be seen. Obviously, with the work to be done, but I'm very proud of him, of his mindset, and the way he's gotten himself physically ready to go. Now, obviously, one of the toughest things for a lot of these players in college is how do you adjust from being one of the best players always on the field to now probably not being one of the better players. And if he was banged up this past season, 2020, COVID, it's a lot of a headache. But now he's got his real opportunity to shine. And I actually know for a fact that anytime you're 6'3", 200 pounds, and you can run the way he does, people are going to be interested. And when you talk about the Buffalo Bills, this offense is already explosive. They were second in the league last season in terms of points scored, 502. I believe they averaged 31.8 points per game. But the real question is this, they have some other good playmakers, no doubt about it. And when I hear breakout season, I think of really taking that next step. So breakout might not be the right word, but for you fantasy football fans out there, sleeper might be. Because you have Stephon Diggs, who led the NFL last season in receptions with 129. I like Gabriel Davis a lot. Emmanuel Sanders is a reliable veteran receiver. Is he 100% healthy? I'm not sure. And the Beasles, he's going to get his catches. He's going to pick up his first down. So where exactly does Hodgins fit in? Maybe for this season, it's not the easiest fit. But if you can see some of that upside, if you can make yourself a red zone target, and at 6'3", that is something that he absolutely will be, because Diggs is smaller. Beasles is smaller. Davis is even a little bit undersized, right? Some of those receivers aren't quite as big, and for a team that does lack a little bit of depth, no disrespect to Knox at the tight end position, maybe Hodgins could be that tight end figure. And there's been recent reports about the Bills running more 4 and 5 wide receiver sets with no running backs in the backfield and really letting Josh Allen sling it. If that's the case, you're going to see Hodgins on the field a little bit more. So be honest with me here. Do the Bills have a top 5 receiving core? I want you to go down in the comments section and type Y for yes, or you can go ahead and type your N for no. It is a difficult question when I really think about it, because there's so many talented teams out there. But give me a Y for yes or N for no. Do the Bills have a top 5 receiving core? If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports. We're trying to get this channel to 250,000 subs. The game plan of today's show, I always like to set a goal for everything we do here, and you guys honestly should set goals every morning, right? You want to be able to achieve them. I want people to turn on your notifications. That's why I started the video off the way I did. We're somewhere around 26,000 people have all their notifications turned on. If everyone would turn on their notifications, we would do a lot better here. It's me just being honest with you. So if you haven't already, hit that bell underneath the video and turn on those notifications.